this is Hannah from Adorely, and today I want to share a project with you that I'm working on just because I want to give some of my friends some little stationery folders, nothing big, just a little something to say thank you. I've seen these done as purely tag holders, and I did one earlier that was just a tag holder, but I decided I wanted to change it up a little bit, so I'm going to show you some samples of ones that I've done, and then we'll talk about how to make this particular project. This one I used on the front of it, this wonderful image that was a freebie at Through the Craft Room Door magazine, and I just colored it up, matted it, added a sentiment. I had pieces of scraps, and I used one as a clasp to close it, and actually it's just a piece of Velcro attached to the ribbon that wraps around the card, and Velcro on the other side, but it looks like a little clasp. And when you open it, on the inside you have your envelopes that serve as your holders. In this particular one, the contents are 3 tags, 3 sheets of stationery, and I just cut small pieces of stock and used the Spellbinder's tuck and fold dies. It's just used across the top of the paper, and I cut a strip of the gray cardstock, the leftover scraps from here, and just put it across the top to make a border. And you can't see it on here, but if you have the little Spellbinder die, there's a little design in this tiny gray strip that goes across. And then I added a note card. This one is a sympathy card, but yours could be whatever. I attached some adhesive back pearls, and it's really very pretty. It's a nice little package and make a nice gift. This folder, I did a little different. The image here is from the Stamping Boutique, and I covered my folder with paper. This is wallpaper, and I put a doily on it and just colored the doily with the tea-dye distress ink. Attached a button to my ribbon, put Velcro behind that. There's a piece of Velcro there for my opener. And for this one, I put the little notebook inside, and I covered the notebook, made a little page marker so you can mark your page in the notebook, and then on the back just use a piece of chocolate cardstock, and it matches the ribbon, so the chocolate is the highlight. This is a different style of envelope, so what I did was I took some of these little gold envelope sealers. I put one right at, you know how with envelopes sometimes they don't come together perfectly, and I didn't like that look. I wanted it to look neater, and so I put one on either one of these, the button on one side, and then I just cut out a strip of the wallpaper that I used in my other decorations and put it on top of the little gold circle. And I don't know if you can, it's really very pretty in real life, this gold outlining around these circles. Okay, and so that's one. Now with the first one I showed you, there's also a little notebook, and here it is. And all I did was I took a piece of the paper, that ticking paper that was also wallpaper. It's like a ticking paper, and I just cut off the corners of the paper and put it on the notebook. Added a strip of gold because the picture on the front of the folder is matted in gold, and then just added an applique. And these are just little composition notebooks that you can get at the dollar store, and they look like that, and I just altered them. Okay, so these are very, very easy to make. You will need 2 envelopes, 6.5 by 4 3/4, and you cut your cardstock, and it really depends on how much overlap you want to have. I don't want a lot of overlap, so I cut my cardstock 6 3/4 by 10. And you put the envelopes on the inside, and in order to get them to marry, you put the first envelope down, and your flap is, I'll try to zoom in so you can see this. You lay this flap flat, okay, that's your first flap, and it goes down flat, and you fold the second flap back, and then you glue those 2 together. You just marry those 2 so that it forms 2 pockets. You can see that. I may need to zoom out so you can see that. So then you have just your 2 pockets. I always use these little pin curler clips to mock up my cards before I do them. So when you decide on what size cardstock you want, my cardstock is 10 inches, so I just scored it at 5 inches, and that gives me my center fold. On this project, I'm not going to wrap the paper as I did on the others. Remember, on these, I wrap the paper all the way around. On this project, I am not going to do that because I want a white border all the way around. This is the nautical theme, and so I want the white to stand out. So what I did was I cut 4 panels, 3 1/4 by 4 5/8, and I'm going to attach them to the front and back of my folder. I'm going to put a piece of yellow ribbon here, and this is where my little pin curl clips come in so handy, because I have an opportunity to see what things are really going to look like, and I can get a feel for if I want to move things around, keep them where they are, even change my paper if I want to. So this is what I would normally do, just get a little mock-up going. So that's going to be how I fix this, and I have 2 more panels that will go on the back. Then I'm going to attach my image, and this is a cute little image from Limited Run. So I will attach that, and I'm putting it down here in the center so that the nautical theme is not lost in the paper, and the little boy is wearing a little sailor suit. And the last addition would be a little pink button right here, because I want to pick up the pink from her dress. And I color her hair blonde, so that would bring all the colors together. I hope you can see that. And then I'm not really sure what I'm going to put on the inside of this one, but I think that I'm going to just take this little composition book, and I'm going to cover it the same way. Just cut panels and color it and put a piece of yellow ribbon on it so that both pieces look the same. Okay, that's it. It's very simple, and then you can decide what you want to put on the inside. You can do tags, you can do note cards. It's entirely up to you. The size of your project is determined and controlled by your envelope. I'm going to use these larger envelopes because I want to do a coupon holder, and I think this will make a nice size for that. If you want to do a little larger note cards, you can use A7 envelopes that are just a little bit larger, so it'll give you a bigger project. You can get more things inside. As always, if you have any questions about the projects that you see here, you can contact me at redoralee@msn.com. These videos can be found on my blog, redoralee.blogspot.com. Thanks for stopping by.